This is part 2 in the art of creating a successful business, and in part 1, we spoke about value. Regardless of if you're offering a product or a service, the important thing is that it needs to add value to others in some way. In this video, we're going to tackle getting people's attention, which is also known as marketing. Now, I'm not going to bother breaking down why marketing is important because as we touch bases on the points that I want to explore in this video, you should be able to clearly define why it is important to you. So let's start off with that not all marketing and campaigns are equal, meaning that before going all out on Facebook ads or Google ads, you really need to understand your target audience. And please caution yourself to understand that the version of your target audience does not have to be 100% accurate. And as you build your company or brand over time, you will be able to define your target audience with more accuracy. But even having a basic outline will give you a good indication of a start point. Like for example, if you're selling toys to cats, specifically in the United States, it doesn't make sense to try and reach every single person in the world. And it also doesn't make sense trying to reach every single person in the United States. So for a scenario like that, what would you do? Like, how would you market? The answer, it might sound a little easy, like, oh, I'll just market to cat owners. But it's a little bit more than that because there are already thousands of businesses that are doing almost the exact same thing as you. And if you've watched episode 1, then this is going to sound familiar, but it does come back down to creativity and thinking outside the box, with one more added layer. See, even if you are a creative person and you really do think outside the box, if you're only making a couple pieces of content, then the chances are probably that you're not being shown or you're not even being shown to the right person. So the first thing that you need to do is to learn all that you can about your potential customer. Psychology plays a huge part in every aspect of business, and marketing is no different. Who they are and what their ambitions are, what they fear and how they buy, these are all such important things. And the basic point is that profile your customer as much as you possibly can. And keep it separate. That way you can add and modify as you go along, and the more you know about somebody, the better your chances are to connect with them. And in today's market, more than ever before, small and big companies alike are using social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram and YouTube for their digital marketing, which allows your company to connect with people on such a deeper level. You definitely shouldn't ignore traditional marketing channels like printing ads, billboards, direct mail, but again, it's about starting small and scaling outwards. And most of us, when we start a business, we're usually doing it alone and often with very little money, which is in one sense an advantage for you because when you don't have the resources, it forces us to be creative, and trust me, people notice. And not only that, they appreciate it, they admire it, and they get inspired by it. And the second step is to make a real connection. See, in today's world of marketing, the secret isn't to be all elusive or hush-hush or secretive, it's actually quite the opposite. In one of my previous videos, I talked about the consumer trend, and nowadays, consumers care more about transparency, honesty, and authenticity, and there is a lot of ways to do that, and obviously a great way is to show your process. Through revealing your process, you get to show people a story of how and why your product or service will be able to impact their lives and improve it for the better. We all crave to be a part of something bigger. We all crave to be a part of a community. And if you're able to create a community, even your advertisements just feel like part of the experience, part of the storytelling. A great example that comes to mind is the WWE. They've been doing an amazing job at storytelling for decades now, and they're able to get millions across the world invested in their stories. And through these stories, they're able to build hype and market their pay-per-view events, toys, t-shirts, so many different types of WWE merchandise. You don't want to market a car as a vehicle that will take you from point A to point B because they all do that. Rather, you want to show the experience and how it'll feel when you're in that vehicle and what it means to be a part of that community. And it isn't just a car, you can do this with anything. Take inspiration from companies like Nike and Apple who really do some killer marketing campaigns. but you really do need to step it up a notch. Whether you're doing email marketing or you're doing video campaigns, you want to tell a story and you want to provide an experience that's unforgettable. And dare I say that you don't need to be perfect and spot on and hitting the goal on the first attempt, which then carries on to number 3, which is to be consistent. Be consistent in what you do, in where you do it, and how you do it. And now that sounds simple enough, but rarely is art complicated. It just seems complicated when you don't know what you're doing. Too many of us quit or stop or find a different route entirely, and there's just so many different types of marketing and strategies that you can implement that it can quickly get overwhelming. Rather, start with one and put some damn heart and soul into it, man. Or woman. No, but really, put some honest work into it, and the best part is that once you got the initial work out of the way, you'll be able to easily replicate your work across multiple platforms. And that's basically where we started. If you guys remember in the beginning of this video, we talked about how you can be very artistic and come up with some great ideas and implement them for outreach programs, but if you only have a couple of pieces out there, the chances are that you're not even being shown to the right people, you're not even being shown to people that will find value in your products or services. Just like you would build a YouTube channel or an investment portfolio, your advertisements work in a very similar way, where the more advertisements you're pulling out over time, it will compound and bring in more people that will eventually get exposure to it. And please obviously keep in mind what kind of advertisements and how you're doing it and why you're doing it all matters and plays a role into it, because if your ads are just a straight up spam, then we're gonna ignore you. It's gonna get ignored. End of story. And I want to leave you guys with dismantling this last thing that I've heard so many times before by so many people, that first impressions are everything, and really it's not. It really isn't. You can go out there, look up any company, and they probably have some kind of BS that they've done in their lifetime. Some of them have done it in the beginning, some of them in the middle, and some of them did crash and burn because of their mistakes. The point is that every situation is different. And in the end of the day, businesses are run by humans, and humans are full of errors and mistakes and emotions and so forth. And you're gonna make a mistake when you're running your business, and that's perfectly okay. It's what you do after that mistake, it's how you recover, it's how you take care of the people that you might have affected, and so forth. In the end of the day, if you make a bad marketing move and people don't react, or people react negatively, it's not the end all be all. It just means that you have to reshift your focus and understand those people that are reaching out to you and why and how to again improve their life. So what's next? What happens when the customer does reach out to you and you've gotten them right in front of your face asking about your product, your service, and how it can improve their life? Well, that's the next part of this series, which is sales. And make sure you guys watch the previous video about adding value to your idea, your business, for you to get started. And then this one is the second part. The third part should be coming out soon. I thank you guys for watching the video, and if you did, please make sure you leave a thumbs up for the algorithm, leave a comment down below for me, and also subscribe to the channel so you can stay notified when I do drop a new video, which again should be very soon. Thank you. You have a good day. I'll see you later. Bye.